Hi ADHD friends, ready to become gutsy cooks? Let's start now. Today we're going to make chocolate mousse. Great for Valentine's Day. All right, let's gather our equipment and ingredients. This is a good time to pause if you want to leave this on the screen to gather your equipment and ingredients. I am going to read it aloud for our friends who are visually impaired. You can go to the next timestamp or you can let it run. So for the equipment, you need little bowls, a liquid measuring cup, measuring cups, measuring spoons, a medium mixing bowl, a hand mixer, a soup spoon, which is the larger spoon, and serving dishes or custard cups. The ingredients is 1 teaspoon of powdered gelatin, 1 tablespoon of cold water, 1 tablespoon of boiling water, 1/2 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of powdered cocoa. This is not cocoa like you drink and warm up in the microwave. This is specifically powdered cocoa from the baking aisle. 1 cup of heavy whipping cream and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. It can be vanilla extract, that works just fine. Now you're going to get ready. We're going to measure all the liquid and dry ingredients. If you've never worked with gelatin, please pay attention closely to the directions or this recipe will not work. 1 teaspoon of powdered gelatin, and then you're going to take 1 tablespoon of cold water, and then you're going to measure out 2 tablespoons of boiling water. If you do not have a kettle or you don't want to do it on the stove, you can microwave the water for 2 minutes, and that will give you boiling water. Then you're going to measure 1/2 cup of sugar and 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. Cocoa powder is not the same as cocoa mix like we drink in front of the fire. It's a different product in the baking aisle. And then 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. This recipe is designed for heavy whipping cream, not half and half, not milk, cream. And then you'll have your 1 teaspoon of vanilla. The next thing we're going to do is set up the gelatin, and this requires sprinkling the gelatin over the cold water and set a timer for 1 minute. Here you can pause for that 1 minute. Then you add the boiling water and you stir until the gelatin dissolves and the mixture is completely clear. This is very important. If the gelatin is not dissolved, the recipe will not work. Okay, now we're to our combine step. In the mixing bowl, use the hand mixer on slow speed to mix together the sugar and cocoa. And you're going to see how when I start the mixer, I tend to go all the way up real fast, and you can see a nice smoky cocoa there. So if you're going to use the hand mixer to mix dry ingredients, you really have to be mindful of keeping it slow. Then you're going to add the whipped cream and the vanilla. And you're going to use the hand mixer to beat until stiff peaks form. So as far as the technique, see, I did it again where there was that big waft of dry ingredients. So you really want to go slow when you start the mixer. And it takes, you see my left hand is turning the bowl to make sure we're getting even mixing. Okay, so at this point, you need to use a spatula. You see all around the rim there are a lot of ingredients up there. And so you want to use a spatula and you want to get whatever is stuck to the sides of the bowl and the bottom of the bowl. A couple reasons for this. Number one, you want the flavor of all of those good ingredients that you've spent money and time on here. Also, you don't want to have any dark or light streaks. So now we're coming up on what stiff peaks look like. You can see where it becomes really stiff, just like that, and they don't move. This is maybe a little overbeaten, but that's okay for this recipe because what we're going to do is right here, add the gelatin mixture in, and we're going to blend again, counting to 30. And the reason I tell you to count to 30 is to make sure that it's really getting well combined. If I give a direction just like well combined, even I wonder what that means. So assigning a number to it makes it easier. After you're finished, and look how beautiful and glossy that is, you're going to go ahead and now we're going to put it in the serving dishes. My serving dish today is a teacup. If you have pretty teacups, and they don't even have to match, that's an idea for a serving suggestion. You'll notice I'm taking a soup spoon and I'm taking my time really trying to get it in the middle. If you try and pour it or slap it in there, chocolate is very difficult to clean, and you're going to find that the presentation will not be what you wanted. And we want to make it beautiful. All right, the heat step, which is not really the heat step. For this recipe, it is the refrigerate step. Refrigerate these for at least 30 minutes. Finish and serve. After 30 minutes, take them out and top them with a little whipped cream. Isn't that pretty? Chocolate is such a nice romantic dessert for Valentine's Day. There are a couple things I want you to be careful about. Unplug the hand mixer before you remove the beaters. Very important. If that starts up and your fingers are in the way, that's going to hurt. Could really do some damage. Also, use a deep mixing bowl. That will keep the contents when you're using the hand mixer in the bowl and not flinging around the kitchen in case your finger slips like mine does on that hand mixer. Okay, extra fancy. You can put a teaspoon of booze such as rum or Kahlua in your chocolate mousse. I personally like my chocolate and my booze separately. If you like this recipe, please subscribe. Thank you for your time and attention. Now go get gutsy.